that is it. They are protecting those big companies.
Yes.
Because you talk about it, even when they talk about sugar. You know, because they know the other for.
Hello? Mr. Lewis?
Probably that.
I'm losing you, Mr. Lewis. The last thing I heard you said was them no say, and you were talking about the large companies that are protected in the main. Seems we're having a little bit of difficulty there with Mr. Lewis, where he is at. The connectivity is a little bit poor. So the numbers are 876-212-9824, 876-462-0919. We continue to have, not fulsome connectivities from our providers. It's you're on a call and, the person you're communicate with just not hearing you, or the call drop and so on. And we can understand it's a work in progress. They're trying to get back up. Yes, Mr. Lewis, go ahead, sir.
Yeah, even us adults, we should cut sugar. You would fight to realize our health would improve, Yeah. All of those people with them big belly, all and stuff, they should reduce drastically if we should cut sugar.
Boy, I tell you something. If you notice, even some of our young people, our young women, they're carrying some stomach in front of them like they're couple months pregnant, and some of our young men are also doing the same. And we urge them, because it's about health, and we already have a health system that's burdened to the core, bursting at the seams. So if you take care of yourself, then less of us will have to visit the hospital. Hello? All right. Definitely having an issue there with Mr. Lewis' connection this morning. Now, let me see if I can share a bit of this with you. Let me get there with you. The Rapid Home Solution, NHT outlines plan to deliver a module solution sooner. And it said the National Housing Trust, NHT, is moving to install the first 2,500 of 5,000 semi-permanent module unit on site with pre-existing water and sewage system, which is expected to cut construction timelines significantly and deliver homes far sooner than initially planned. Assistant General Manager for Corporate Communications and Public Affairs at the NHT, Dwayne Burbick, who was speaking at the Hurricane Melissa press briefing on Wednesday, said the NHT has shifted its strategy to prioritize land that can support rapid installation. He explained that the first phase of the Rapid Housing Development Initiative will be arch and the NHT own properties that are already close to development readiness in areas affected by the Hurricane Melissa. All right, our construction and development team were currently assessing the status. All right, this here, right, and we have been calling on the housing trust, funds for the housing trust to be used to basically assist in putting back our people on their feet by way of housing. To be honest with you, the article here, I have not read the entire article, so I would want to kind of delve into. Hello?
Morning, Conrad.
Yes, go ahead, sir.
Yesterday, the fixing of our country right now.
Mm-hmm.
Because it could have fixed long time, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But the interest to fix it wasn't there.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Mm-hmm.
So you see after Melissa right now,
Yes.
I think this fixing of our country should begin now, you know.
I agree with you. I agree with you, sir. We have to look at go ahead.
The management for the housing trust.
Mm-hmm.
But who you manage for?
Africa, you keep on asking them questions. What do you mean?
Yeah, hear me now, Conrad.
Uh-huh. Hold on. Hold on, because I know what you're saying. You have something in what you're saying. So let me get to it. You're asking the people who manage the National Housing Trust and whose behalf they're managing or should be managing. Certainly it should be on their behalf of the people, and I dare say it should be the masses of the people who the housing trust was designed to basically build houses for, and those are the people who are at the bottom of the pyramid, so to speak, because and all who or let me rephrase that. The National Housing Trust should be managing for all who basically make contribution to the trust. That's their first mandate.
And Conrad, for decades now, that mandate don't take up from underneath the table where them have it,
I wouldn't say so. There are a lot of people who have benefited from the National Housing Trust. Hold on. You see, we must not throw the baby out with the bathwater.
I'm not telling you, and the baby on the bathwater.
Yeah, man. I am very much interested in that, because you see what happened in Africa. I am not about sensationalism, I'm about basically educating my people and put things out there. It doesn't matter where the chips fall.
Not a part of your something, yes?
Absolutely. So therefore, when you say something, I have to basically dress it up and put it out there, because we have seen, I know people who weren't qualified, and this is for years, in community that I know people who live, right? When Mrs. Simpson Miller was Prime Minister, I know people who could not qualify for a mortgage. They get a grant and so on to basically subsidize where they were. Right now, under Mr. Holness, Andrew as Prime Minister, people still get subsidy to ensure that they're qualified. Are we building enough homes or enough houses for our people to basically benefit from in the main? No. And I believe that the housing trust can do much, 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 much better. Much better.
Yes, Conrad. Yes, Conrad.
Yes.
So, you see the kind of house, the kind of house we have to build now in Jamaica.
Tell us.
What are the people out of West blow down?
Yeah, man, but because in the main,
the housing trust never had no interest in these things, Conrad.
No, those houses were never ever. There weren't housing trust houses in the main. People basically build their little.
Yes, we know, Conrad. But we have a government around Jamaica with the housing trust.
So you're saying that more houses should have built in those communities so people could have benefited from them?
Oh, yeah, I want to have a land over there.
All right, cool. I am a little bit concerned about this article, though, and this is why I'm saying that I would love to talk to Mr. Burbick and other government official about this, because this talk about semi-permanent units, what that really mean in real terms. Why are we building semi-permanent units and not permanent units? I don't know. And in truth and in fact, I'm impatient. I want to talk to Dwayne. I want to talk to Dwayne. Mr. Taylor, Mr. Moore, all of you guys there. Mr. Miller, who is the managing director, I know Conrad O'Brien very, very well. You and I work together on project. So it's not a stranger. So when me say me want to talk to somebody from the National Housing Trust, me no want nobody hide behind the bush hill and say them not talk to Conrad O'Brien, the fireman. Oh, no, know me well. We have been at the table in meeting to eke out solutions in the past for a major project in Jamaica. Me want to talk to the National Housing Trust on this.
Conrad,
yes, sir.
Jamaica have a housing and an infrastructure problem right now. And for a long time we have it.
Mm-hmm.
And I pay a plaster and them put over it.
Mm-hmm.
Now at the time to fix this problem, Conrad, that just got me a saying now.
Yes.
And the PNP and the GLP supposed to in at the house to talk about this.
Agree with you. Thanks, Africa. Agree.
Yeah, yeah, it's good to be here, yeah?
Every time. All right. We are taking your calls. All right. So the numbers are 876-212-9824. 876-462-0919. We're about the people's business. And indeed, we're saying that, listen, I want some clarity on this. Semi-permanent house. What is it really? What are we doing? What is it? What is it? We heard from the Prime Minister in the House of Parliament that, talk about some house that he said that some could be for 2 years. I think he said 12 months, then he said 2 years, and then he said 10 years. I don't understand. I want some more meat on the bone. All right? Need some more meat on the bone. So hence we would like to talk to the powers that be. All right? And to see what's going on. Hello, caller? Hello? Not hearing the call there at all. Hello?
Hear you. I don't know if you
yes,
hear me.
I'm hearing you now, sir. Go ahead,
Good morning.
sir. Good morning, sir. How are you doing?
I have survived and I continue to survive.
Excellent.
Just one point. The Housing Trust has made a profit of $86 billion over the past 5 years.
Mm-hmm.
Successive governments have had no difficulty in taking the people's housing money from the Housing Trust and moving it to the consolidated fund.
Yes.
And spending it in the past.
Mm-hmm.
Both parties, while in power, have done this. And I am not being critical of them.
Mm-hmm. But why not? Why not being critical of them?
No, hold on. I'm not going back into the past. I just made the point. I'm going forward.
Mm-hmm.
We could argue that, but let's go forward.
Mm-hmm.
We are at the end of November.
Mm-hmm.
Now, this idea of bringing in container units or container houses, which won't be here until March or April or May.
Or February.
Starting February.
Mm-hmm.
Do we have good relations with China? If we engage with the Chinese, we know their history of construction.
Mm-hmm.
If we got the Chinese in here, let us say early January, and we give a choice to those who want concrete houses and those who want containerized housing. If we give that to the people, does that sound like a reasonable suggestion?
It does. Caller, I'm going to just ask you to just listen to this because I know your expertise. I want to hear you on this. in relation to the same point that you're making.
Mm-hmm.
The National Housing Trust, NHT, is moving to install the first 2,500 of 5,000 semi-permanent module units at sites with pre-existing water and sewage system. Now, let me stop there because I think I'll read what I want to ask you. What it means, what this means, semi-permanent module unit. What is that, sir? Can you
All right.
Can you add some light to that? Because why would we be going to anything semi-permanent and not permanent housing for our people?
Well, that is the $86 billion question.
Yes,
Mr. O'Brien.
Mm-hmm.
We are going to be installing 5,000 or more semi-permanent structures. When they say semi-permanent,
Mm-hmm.
they are not telling the people how long this thing is likely to last. No, when you say semi-permanent, clearly you don't foresee it having a great life.
Mm-hmm.
So what is the plan for permanency? What is the plan for permanency? What is the plan for permanency?
Carla, believe me, this thing is so heavy. But believe me, if I don't laugh, I'm going to cry. If I don't laugh, I'm going to cry, sir, and I don't want to cry on air. Last week, one day this week, I was driving home, and when I listened to the press conference, and I heard the female members of parliament from down in the West spoke, the tear was just trickling down my face, and I was there crying. I don't want this to happen to me on air, right?
Conrad.
But,
Brother Conrad.
yes, sir.
Let me tell you this. What is happening is very, very, very sad. What is happening is that not only is there a level of incompetence,
Mm-hmm.
as I pointed out the other day, somebody told me that the government is doing their best. I went on to point out to him that I am in total agreement, 100%, that the government is doing its best. But he has defined incompetence because their best is clearly not good enough. If I want to cut down a coconut tree and I engage your services and you turn up with a ratchet knife to cut down a coconut tree, that might be the best you can do, but your best is not good enough. This idea of telling people about a semi-permanent, well, explain to us how long will this semi-permanent structure last, and what are the plans?
Sorry, caller. We heard from the PM himself in the parliament on Tuesday. He said he used the same term, right? I don't know if he said some of these houses will last for, I think he said 12 months first. Then he said 2 years. And he said the maximum 10 years. No, why would we be going this direction now? And we're hearing where the housing trust is being brought into this through its assistant general manager, quoted in the paper here today. And that is why, Howard, I'll be back on air on Monday. And whatever it takes for Dwayne to talk to me, that's Dwayne Burbick at the National Housing Trust, me want to chat to him. Have to leave it there, Howard, up on the 11 o'clock break.
We'll talk.
Good.
That in terms of this area of water-borne and foodborne illnesses and vector-related risks, that we have been managing the leptospirosis outbreak declared last week, or our epidemiologist is here and she can comment more on this. But I want to just indicate that our discussion or narrative around this particular issue is intended to provide the necessary advisory to protect Jamaicans and to heighten the levels of alertness. We are mindful that that can easily be understood as panic, and we would like to discourage that. And sometimes the headlines does project a sense of the need to panic. This is not what our intentions are. We're also mindful that we are a country that has an obligation to both the local population, but also, importantly, in a big tourism space, we also have an obligation to our visiting visitors and tourism interests. I just want to say that we are working very closely with the tourism sector. We have discerned no great risk in terms of the facilities that cater to tourists, whether it's the hotels, which themselves are doing some rehabilitation as we speak because of the impact of the hurricane. And we work closely with them, as well as the certified attractions that cater to tours and visitors. We work closely with those entities too. And there is a certification process that is required and that is given in conjunction with health. And so, we are not giving an advisory to discourage tourism or visitors. We are just placing all on alert and are particularly focused on the vulnerable communities. Those communities, of course, we have identified and where we are collaborating in terms of our operations, NSWMA and others, as part of the cleanup of solid waste and, of course, treating with water to avoid or minimize the risk of waterborne diseases, including leptospirosis. So I just want to make that clear, and we will continue to work with the relevant stakeholders, including the tourism interests, to ensure that visitors are safe when they visit our shores. In terms of pharmaceuticals, the mobile units of the National Health Fund, an agency of the Ministry of Health and Wellness, has processed some 3,000 prescriptions across 60 hard-to-reach communities in the West since November 1. And these efforts are ongoing. So the National Health Fund has been out there, and some 3,000 prescriptions have been served. Today, Thursday, November 24th, the mobile service will be in Cambridge, in St. James, Bluefields, Westmoreland, and Prospect and Magotty in St. Elizabeth. Island-wide, drug-serve pharmacy operations continue at 90% of facilities which were not impacted by the storm. Up to Monday, November 24th, the number of prescriptions processed was up to 196,000. And so the NHF is out there. They're providing their regular services, and where they are hampered by the impact of the storm, mobile units are dispatched in communities to serve the population. I want to turn quickly to hospital status. Black River Hospital in St. Elizabeth is being supported by a field hospital that was announced earlier by the NGO Samaritan's Purse in conjunction with the staff at the facility. The facility is a Tier 2 field hospital established on the grounds of the Black River High School. One operating suite and the ability to perform emergency general and orthopedic surgery. 13 patient beds allowing for inpatient hospitalization for up to 7 days, which is the average stay for patients. A functional emergency unit with the capacity for resuscitation and stabilization of critical injured patients before potential transfer to high-level facilities. And essential diagnostic units are also included, such as X-ray machine, basic lab services, often with blood blood transfusion capacity. It also provides outpatient care, doing up to 40 consultations each day, or austere environments, difficult environments. The field hospital in Black River integrates full logistical support units, including generators and reliable electricity supply, water treatment and sanitary facilities, kitchen, catering for instruments. And these are also there's also communication system and wastewater management procedures. So up to November 18th, the facility has provided services to 1,271 persons. Of that total, 70 persons were admitted into care within the facility, and the facility is operating very well and really serving an important purpose while we seek to manage the restoration of the Black River Hospital. I want to just commend the partnership between Samaritan's Purse and the local team on the ground, because they have been really delivering on the need for this very important service. Sablamar Hospital, a tier 2 field hospital supported by the government of Barbados, is being installed at the Sablamar Hospital as we speak. I will be in that area tomorrow, and we're hoping that by this weekend, we should commission the operation of that facility. That facility should carry similar arrangements as Black River, maybe with some differences, but it is a full-fledged field hospital, and it's being supported by some personnel from Barbados, as well as our local personnel, and will fill any void that has been created by the impact of the hurricane on Black River Hospital. And that's a major development. That represents 2 of 3 field hospitals that we have been able to deploy to ensure continued and high quality service with the help of our partners. We also have at Black River, Sablamar, outpatient facility that has been set up in the form of health centers, tier 1, and that is also treating outpatients, and that is going well. Tomorrow I'll get a report on that. And so for Sablamar, which is one of the very difficult parishes in terms of the hurricane, we have been able to respond in terms of hospital services, and will continue so to do as we build out back the Sablamar Hospital. More will be said on that tomorrow when I visit. Falmouth Hospital continues treatment and care of patients. 150 patients seen in A&E. This is their field hospital now. Between October 29th and November 19th, Tier 2 field hospital has been established on the grounds of the facility with the support of the Spanish government, and the facility is commissioned on November 6th and started offering services on the 12th. And since that time has served some 284 patients. So Falmouth is also seeing some positive developments in terms of this.
Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back to Straight Up. My name is Conrad O'Brien. It's now coming up to 9 minutes after 11 o'clock. All is on. All right, the numbers are 876-212-9824. Those are the numbers. We're also streaming live on the Make We Talk YouTube channel. That's Jeffrey Tavares Make We Talk YouTube channel. We're up on the 93.5 FM band. Of course, you can also download the. And, you know, I watched the Prime Minister in Parliament on Tuesday, and the Prime Minister talked about, you know, the measure of the rebuilding and what we are going to be measured by. that, and he said that, you know, it was good for him to be there. He established relationship, and hence we'll be talking to Ralston in the final half an hour of the program to find out some issues, the G20 and some other issues we'll talk to Raleigh about there as it relates to some of these matters. So stick and stay with us. Hello, caller. Caller. Caller.
Hello.
Yes.
Yeah, good morning. I'm not hearing well, Conrad.
I don't know why. I'm hearing you. Go ahead.
Yeah. All right. Two things there, Conrad.
Mm-hmm.
Because sometimes we tend to be some way, you know.
Mm-hmm.
We really do more harm than good.
Mm-hmm.
And I say that to say this. In Parliament on Tuesday,
yes.
You know, if you don't know the answer for some questions, just say what I do not have the details here. We get in touch with the minister who is responsible, and we come back again.
I agree.
It's the way Officer Vaz behave on Tuesday. Even though, because look here though, you see, the fact of the matter is, the assets of JPS, all assets of Jamaica, were close to $1 billion US, 978 million US dollars.
Mm-hmm.
The assets value. The man had the cash in hand to work. You look at the PS watcher, you're not going to renew them license the way it is in 2 years' time.
Mm-hmm.
Yet still, you are willing to take up taxpayer money, whatever money, and lend somebody with 3 years, which you apply for renewing a license.
Mm-hmm.
The people be idiots.
Mm-hmm.
You come to the nation and say, what? Because me personally, everybody in Jamaica want people to have light. Because in Jamaica,
Mm-hmm.
people, everybody in Kingston have somebody down the west who is without light now.
Yeah.
So nobody is against people having light.
But John, he did not say that they're not quite going to renew the license. He basically talked about some other thing. He wasn't out and out said that they did not were going to renew it. But based on what he put into the public domain, it basically lessened the fortune of JPS to basically negotiate strongly in terms of getting loan and so on. So he said that, but he didn't quite say he wasn't going to renew, but he actually come across in a threatening way to JPS.
And then, you know, in context, this, it takes so bad. You see, sometimes something that will attack, you know. But Mr. Vaz should know about wicked and evil, you know. He should know. And I leave it right there. I leave that right there.
Mm.
Because it's continue to talk. You know, I'm trying to paint a picture. But you know what's happening, brother?
Mm-hmm.
You see, when a government is behaving such a way from how long and people still re-let them, they feel them have monopoly to do anything. That is why I hear Mr. Wheatley, Dr. Wheatley, in Parliament talking about a cyber thing that I bring in. And the way they sound, it sounds as if it's a censor on what people say. Because if you're talking the government certain way, you know, I believe these are what they are bringing in. But because of people continue to see the arrogance, continue to see the criminality, continue to see organized and bad, and still elect this government, they are afraid to do the thing. But I am telling them that I will not be silent. Come lock me up because I will be exposing every act of criminality that I've seen in this government. Before I go, I see where the government say how much $1 billion, how much $1 million is with the ODPEM. Another cent have been spent since the hurricane.
Yes.
Because procurement is taking place.
Yes, it's
My
reported
brother,
in today's paper.
If, and we have seen this again, if it was not private donors, you'd have some riot in this country right now.
It goes without,
and you have people who are dead, hungry,
it goes without saying the government
Because
has
how can
been,
you have so much money and you don't come and spend none at all? Where you depend on?
the government has certainly been tardy in basically reaching out to the people, sir. And when the Prime Minister talk about police out there, a guide,
Really, for sure.
guide truck and things
Because
like that.
him just defeat,
All right, John, seems as if we're having some issues there with a call. All right, John?
My brother,
yes.
the anti-owners
Yes.
and government has been a massive failure from the beginning. Because you could see what they were doing from the beginning. If we had said, oh, come on, Golden, let's go on these tours. It didn't. Now, so much money collected and people are suffering. And you talk about procurement, and you can't look at emergency money for anything at all. And just like I said now, instead to say now that the MPs are not to do certain thing, because you are fund an MP again. You are about 35.
All right, John.
We have to tell my brother we are watching this.
I have to leave it there. Okay, and,
yeah, man.
And you know, it must also be noted that Mr. Vaz, Minister Vaz, Darrell Vaz, he went in RJR radio yesterday with Mrs. Diane Jackson Miller with the same level of arrogance and out of order, and Diane Jackson had to dismiss him, had to cut him off. He went there with the same level of arrogance and behavior, because nobody enough asked Darrell no question because he's running his own private business. Hello, caller. Good morning. Hello. All right, let's see. Hello. All right, we'll get into the caller there in a moment. So, as I was saying that, you know, all right, caller, hello. Hello.
You not hear me? Hello.
I'm hearing you now, Marie. Remember the means that the method that you're using, so it's a little bit sometimes, you know.
Oh.
Yes.
Hello.
Go ahead, Marie.
Oh, you hear me now?
Yeah,
oh, okay. I didn't know. All right. Look here. I don't know why that is Darrell Vaz's favorite go-to word, whether it's used as an adjective or a verb, bad mind. You know, the thing about it is that I think he's haunted by something. Anyway, enough said. You know what? Fast forward. So, Conrad, the government is slating to roll out to a semi-permanent houses, right? Why is that so? Is this by design that you have further use for the land? So you don't want to put permanent structures. So later on, you can come and do to the people them where you do over Clifton. Because what is the rationale, Conrad? You know, why is it that you're gonna give? Because if now the people are devastated, Conrad, what is the timeline that you're gonna give them? So if you give them a year or whatever go find place, because if it's semi-permanent, you know, Conrad, you know what? Like for me, what is it? You want the land for further use, so you're not putting down any permanent structures. So it's easy to get them off the land. That's the question that I'm asking. What's your take?
Well, you know, Marie, I am making some calls. I am pleading for the relevant persons in government to speak to me. They and they alone can basically give us the correct answer. This morning, the Observer carried an article here, a picture of the communication boss at the deputy or assistant general manager doing Berwick. A number of us would know. I know doing from Manchester, but a number of us would know him when he worked at TVJ. He's the same man there at NHD. And he's saying that, listen, the article is saying that they will be doing semi-permanent houses, and the housing trust will be playing a lead role in that. We here, we'll try to see if we can talk to Mr. Berbick on Monday. We'll be very happy to talk to him. If they're hearing us now and willing to talk to us and should call, we would put everything aside and talk to him. All right? So that's the situation.
Yeah, because Conrad, I mean, people are gonna say People them not live nowhere, them out a door. So it's better than nothing at all. Yes. But the long term, in the long term, you know, if it's gonna be semi-permanent, you know, in another year or so.
This is money that we're extending. Why would we be wasting money about semi-permanent houses, and what is the rationale behind that? We need to know what is the situation there.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
All right. So you know, you say, you know, you try to get to the relevant authorities to find out what's the logic behind semi-permanent. Let me move on real quickly. You know, see, Conrad,
yes.
The JPS wasn't asking. From what I get to understand, I could be wrong. You correct me. The JPS wasn't asking for no money. You know, JPS did only ask for an extension on whatever, because from what I hear, if they got the extension, they would be in the business of trying to seek their loan thing outside of the government. So why is it that Darrell saw it fit to say, all right, you know what? You know, Megalyn and 150 million. The cat bond is $150 million. So is this a way of utilizing the cat?
Hold on there, Marie. I'm getting some messages from some of my listeners that are not hearing me. Let me know if that is still the case. I don't know what would cause that. All right. Maybe they're hearing me now because I'm hearing myself better. Mm-hmm. Yes. All right. Good.
Yes, I'm hearing you.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm saying, from my understanding, JPS wanted an extension.
Mm-hmm. All right. Marie.
Loan institution. Yeah. Hello?
Mm-hmm. Yes, Marie. Rap for me, Marie. Rap for me, please.
All right, I'm saying, right, and you could just expound. I'm saying, from my understanding, is that the JPS only wanted an extension on their, on their contract. Them never there looking up for borrowing of money, because you want 350 and you're like, I get 150, which Mark rightly as a.
Oh, lost Marie there. Lost her. All right. I get the essence of the point, but Marie, in terms of the contract, I don't know what happened. This money that come on into being now is based on the damage that has caused to the infrastructure, and they want this money, this 350 million US, is to do that. But because of the situation, it seems as if it's a little bit difficult for them to get the money. We have caller. Let's go to the caller. Hello, caller. Caller. Not hearing the caller at all. Caller. Hello.
Hello.
Yes, caller. Go ahead, please.
Oh,
I am fine, thank you, sir.
Tell me something. A man will sing. Don't them call him a singer.
Yes.
A man will dance, them call him a dancer.
And a man who lie, they call him a liar.
And the man who lie, they call him a liar. Now, in Parliament a couple of days ago, Tracy get up in Parliament and Tracy asked everybody. The leader of opposition, all who ask questions, Mr. Tracy trace them out. And then the man come back another day and come and say, overnight in check and find out same figure was wrong. I mean, I hear no apology from him. I mean, I hear nobody come down from him. The same man, trace off, everybody will talk about Buju Banton thing, one Buju Banton himself. Him say overnight, him do him overnight check and find out say not. Why this man always do overnight thing? Why?
Some people enjoy the meal that was prepared from the day before. So I don't know what's happening there.
Yeah, overnight him go and make him check. Look what the man go on with the leader of opposition and Julia and all of them in the Parliament.
But not only that, Marsha. He did it yesterday. You don't see what's going on, and hear that he did it again yesterday on radio with one of our most erudite. I
don't know what miss it. I don't know what miss yesterday.
I understand with one of our most erudite journalists, Dan Jackson Miller. All right, Marsha, I'm going to cut and go. I want to take one more before me take Ralston at the 11:30 break.
All right. Well, you have to listen to Ralston because he's the person who knows it, and quickly.
Yes.
Anybody who tell them to Ralston a PNP, make them go to hell. When Monty Perkins used to tear down Omar Davies and other people, you see, in the PNP, it was Ralston and Monty Perkins used to call upon. So Ralston is just a man who know the work.
And he was a staple on Cliff Hughes' program back then as well too. All right, cool.
All right.
Take care.
Good.
Bless you. All right, let's take the final call before we go to the 11:30 break. Hello, caller. Caller.
Good morning.
Good morning, Marlon.
Good morning to the listeners.
Yeah, man.
I heard Murray a while ago, and I just want to assist with some clarification here.
Mm-hmm.
Now, the matter of the JPS cut.
Yes.
The government has long indicated that the terms of the existing JPS license is offensive, in our view, to the people of Jamaica. We accept as a government the PNP's perspective and
hold on. Before you go to the PNP, hold on. Before you go to the PNP perspective and so on, I think the first place that you would begin is to commend me as host to say, listen, Conrad, I appreciate what you said to Marie. You didn't see that fit to do so?
What did you say to Marie?
I share with Marie when Marie talked about the government said they would not renew the JPS license. I said, no, the government did not quite say that. The government is talking about in its present form, which everybody agreed with. Philip Paulwell, the PNP, everybody agree that listen.
Keeping with my nature,
yes.
If your intervention as host brought that clarity to Marie, I'm about to go out on the road and I was packing some stuff in the
all right. Good. Well, I understand.
Just to be clear, if that was indeed your intervention, I commend you on that, my brother, because I am in the business of the members of the public forming their own opinions, yes, but getting correct context and information. That's
absolutely.
So in that vein, I would just like to say this, right? The JPS score, by virtue of a letter that they wrote to the minister, sought an extension of their license. I believe it was, a 15-year extension. That's what I heard banded about. Because we can accept and understand that based on the 2-year window that they have to a new license, possibly, that puts them in a precarious position in relation to raising finance.
Absolutely. I also point that out, yes?
Very well. So just to dial back a bit. What the government has signaled and what Darrell Vaz has communicated is that we are unequivocal about extricating the people of Jamaica from the existing offensive and onerous terms.
But Marlon, let's not get it twisted. Everybody is on the same page on that we need a better, hold on. We need a better arrangement for our people. What happened, what the people are talking about with Darrell Vaz, and you must have a modicum of understanding of this, Marlon. People are saying that Darrell Vaz must remember he's a minister, he's a servant. That's what the word means, of the people, and he's in the parliament. The opposite number, the opposition seeks clarity and asks questions, and he went in a range and started to use all sorts of term and abuse and so on, to the point where he went on one of the largest stations in the Caribbean yesterday, an attempt to carry that sort of vulgarity there, and I gather he was similarly dismissed from the program.
The program yesterday when I called in, passion, because Zulika just used that same word when she spoke at the PNP press conference on Tuesday. It was, you see, some folk may articulate with a degree of stridency and passion that may be construed by others as being over the top. So I can't fault you for the word you used yesterday. You used the word, what was it again? That Darrell Vaz, shenanigans, I think was the word, or something to that effect. No, but coming to a substantive point here now, what we're simply saying is that the JPS has struggles financing what it would take to expeditiously get Jamaica's power grid back up and running.
Marlon, I have to leave. I give you in a 30 seconds. We're overshot in the break. 30 seconds.
Sure. The government is making this 150 available to them. And Marsh made the point a while ago that Darrell Vaz did some recalculations overnight. So what Darrell Vaz was reminded of, albeit overnight, is that there's an existing pool of funds, my brother, sitting in what is called the emergency fund, which is 50 million United States dollars, and the JPSCO may be able to tap that, which is why what started out.
All right, Marlon, have to go. Thanks for the intervention. I wish the government will find some money more to help the people as well. Thanks a lot, Marlon. Good. Let's take the final break.
Empire Group of Companies is now in the heart of New Kingston to serve you better. At 31 Tobago Avenue, get Empire Stationery and Office Supplies, Empire Restaurant and Hotel Supplies, and Empire Med and Scientific Supplies. Free same-day delivery island-wide. Visit their showroom today. Call 876-906-1965-6 or WhatsApp 876-775-2277. Email empirestationery1@gmail.com.
It's a massive Black Friday sale on blinds for every occasion. 20 to 30% off on the most durable and exquisite blinds. Look no further than White Rose Interiors at Unit 32, the Trade Center, 30 to 32 Red Hills Road, Kingston, and Unit 24, G West Center, 6 Crane Boulevard, Fairview, Montego Bay. Don't miss your chance to save on the most durable blinds at White Rose Interiors.
Kenmore Shoe Manufacturing Company Limited. Kenmore Shoe. Email us at
look no further, because what getting the dental care you need. $57.
Owners, pay your property tax. Your TRN. Or 98431 now. Place you. Check this.
Greendale Spanish.
In the final half an hour of the program, and we are indeed having very riveting discussion. Of course, we just heard from Senator Marlon Morgan. He called in, and indeed, just want to say that we are on the same page with in terms of wanting Jamaican people all to benefit from light back in their homes and light in their business. The opposition want that, the government want that, the people want that. However, what happened, we must understand that, there's a way that you have discussion. And if the opposition is in the house and asking question of the minister must understand that he has a duty to explain to the people. Also yesterday, the minister was invited on a radio program, very popular radio program, with Mrs. Diane Jackson Miller. And he insisted in behaving in this very, very extravagant way and out there with all sorts of stuff. And certainly, I gather that discussion did not go well at all. Mr. Vaz, you have to take some time out and examine yourself. Not good. Hello, welcome. I'm sorry. So here we are. It's the final half an hour of the program. We have online our guest, Mr. Ralston Hyman, economics commentator and economics himself. So let's go to Raleigh and this. Hi, Raleigh. Welcome.
Yeah, morning, Taylor.
Morning, Raleigh. How you do?
Yeah, good.
Good. Raleigh, I want to basically just engage you on a few matters here. But before I get into that, and I'm sure that you may have communicated on this on your program earlier. This article that we're seeing in today's Observer and page 4 said Rapid Home Solution. The National Housing Trust, NHT, is moving to install the first 2,500 of 5,000 semi-permanent module units and site pre-existing with water and sewage. Now, Raleigh, why would the National Housing Trust be embarking on semi-permanent house and not permanent house? And what that means, first of all, what this means?
Yeah, well, that's what we'd like to hear from them. What I mean when you say semi-permanent house, because a house is supposed to be a permanent thing and the people want permanent houses. So we need to know why it is semi-permanent, if it's the fact that the land tenure is a problem, and that is why it is semi-permanent, because when people lease land and all of those things, the houses are normally semi-permanent. So we need to get an explanation as to why the houses will be semi-permanent.
Absolutely, Raleigh.
Yeah, we need an explanation.
I won't be on tomorrow. I'll be back here on Monday. I will be trying my utmost best to work my phone between later and over the weekend to ensure that I secure an interview with Mr. Dwayne Burbick of the National Housing Trust.
Yeah, man.
I'm sure that you will be doing the same, Raleigh. So we need some answers on this, and we are not here, as I will keep on saying, Raleigh, to badger anybody. All we do, we seek information, and you would basically remind us, Raleigh, that timely and accurate information do what, Raleigh?
Is of paramount importance to the smooth functioning of markets. Additionally, the media is the fourth estate, according to Thomas Carlyle. Our job is to protect the Constitution. We're not looking a friend from nobody. So we're not making no apologies for asking nobody no question, because that is our job, to protect the Constitution, not political parties. Yeah? So we're not making no apologies for that. Yeah.
Absolutely, and we shouldn't.
Yep.
None of us should.
Yep.
No, Raleigh, I want to get some clarity, and again, a part of our mandate is to educate the people as much as possible. Every person. Raleigh, please explain to me, what is the G20? What is the G20, and what normally happens at a G20 summit?
Yeah, well, the G20 is a group of industrialized nations, the top 20 industrialized nations in the country in terms of GDP and them things. Yeah, so them normally have them annual summit, just like how G20 have them annual summit, and them go and them talk about macroeconomic and environmental problems. Largely, most of them things are just a chat shop, not take place at them places. So that's why a man like Trump can't afford not to go, because he knows that nothing constructive now come out of that. And the US is a leading member of the G20 as the biggest economy in the world. So if them not interested, nobody else not interested. So because them know them things are just chat shop. Them just chat and issue a communique and nothing else to come out of it. And them go again next year and chat about the same thing, them issue a communique and nothing come out of it.
All right. The Prime Minister came under a bit of criticism, from persons who say, listen, with what we're having going on here in Jamaica with the aftermath of Hurricane Melissa, You know, a lot of people believe that the Prime Minister could spend his time better doing things, ensuring not to be here, handing out one package as he want to basically have people believe that anybody was saying that the Prime Minister should be out there handing out package. And I find that to be a little bit disingenuous from the Prime Minister. And nobody was saying that the PM should be on the ground handing out one package.
No, but them call gaslighting. When them can't answer serious questions, them come with gaslighting.
You know,
from Donald Trump can't afford to go G20, you know, say not now come out of it because the US are the leading member of the G20. And anything where the US not support, not now come out of it. And we say even when the US did it, G20 and G7, them just go and them just chat about things and issue a communique. Sometimes them never issue on because there's disagreement as to what to put in the communique. We have followed them things for years. Yeah,
good.
And not come out of it. Them things are just chat shops.
Good. Now the Prime Minister pounced and he said, listen, the reason he went was to basically, and my word here, to eyeball, to talk to people and to create synergies and so on. And he talked about who he met with, Macron, he met with Nigeria president and a number of persons and so on, you know, to ensure that he would get some leverage for Jamaica. And so would the Prime Minister be able to do this at a G20 summit rally? Any form of meaningful discussion?
Macron forgot about him as him gone. Because Macron had his own problem in France where they have massive budget problems and demonstration every day. And then the next focus is on Ukraine. Macron now focus on Angeles and Jamaica. Them things are just jokes.
Yep. So where are you on this rally? You believe it was a waste of time for the Prime Minister
waste of time. Could I spend more time in Jamaica trying to help the people out west? Yep.
Who would have paid for this trip with the Prime Minister and his entourage rally?
Well, the Prime Minister would not pay that out of time on pocket. It would be taxpayers of Jamaica.
Taxpayers.
Did the Prime Minister come and tell you about any tangible benefits that he got from it?
No, I heard him talk about the connection that he made.
Connection, then to joke business, tangible benefits. As me I said, Macron and them man have their own problem. Yeah? Them now as him gone, them forgot about him. Yeah, get me a setting. Macron more talk about Putin and Zelensky and him own domestic problems. About 4 French government have resigned since December of last year.
Do you think?
And I said the Donald never even go. The Donald send a little man. He never even send a high level people like Marco Rubio and anything. A joke thing.
Do you think it would be unfair, really, for us to ask for the price tag on this trip?
Yeah, they figure out foreign, they must tell me price tag and where you discuss that is tangible so that we know so we get value for your money, man. Of course. Them things are normal, I know. Like so we ask nothing special of the Prime Minister. Them things are normal thing.
Good. Raleigh, now let's shift gear a bit. In terms of engaging the multilaterals, especially after a disaster like Hurricane Melissa, how do you go about engaging the multilateral? Is it again, would it be a situation where you have gone to a G20 and so on and have a little talk?
Serious discussion that take place on multilateral with G20. Multilateral officials just pass through G20 as me as a present a paper and a man chat about them business. You are engaged in multilateral agencies. Me I tell you from 30 years experience, it means you have to go up there, go link the man them. You have to go up to Washington, go link the man them. Yeah? And make a formal request. And then the man them send them team come down here. When them come down here, them talk to the Ministry of Finance, them talk to BOJ, them talk to PIOJ, them talk to trade union movement, them talk to the private sector, and then do them assessment, and then you have a negotiating team, and you arrive at what we call a staff arrangement.
All right. So
participate in enough of them things, so I know about them things. A foolish argument.
Good. Raleigh, we were expecting on Tuesday at least to have the Minister of Finance on her feet, give a ministerial statement and indeed field question. That did not happen. The Prime Minister said that come next Tuesday, the minister will be speaking to her. You believe that this is late in coming, and although it may be a little late, but what are you expecting of the minister?
No, it won't be a little late. It will be big late.
Big late.
Very late. And it seems as if the Prime Minister and the Minister of Energy speak for the Finance Minister. Yeah? So we just have to wait and see what will happen on Tuesday because we have been waiting a long time. We notice that every minister, almost every minister, that is below the rank of the Finance Minister because the Finance Minister is supposed to be number 2 in the cabinet. Yeah? I've been speaking since the hurricane except the minister. So it's a big problem. And that is why you have this high level of uncertainty in the economy because nobody is hearing from the Finance Minister as to what is the National Economic Recovery Plan. Yeah? Nobody has heard from the Finance Minister as to whether we have approached the IMF for the rapid financing instrument, as to whether we have approached the World Bank, as to whether we have approached the IDB. We see even the World Bank lady talking and the Minister of Finance standing up beside her. So everybody has been speaking. The Prime Minister speaking about the economy. The World Bank lady speaking about the economy. Darrell Vaz speaking about the economy. Yet the Minister in charge of the economy is not speaking. That's not a good sign. That's not a confidence generating sign. That's a confidence eroding sign.
Yes, and let us just remind our listeners, Raleigh, that when we talk about the Minister of Finance being the number 2 person, is not just flippantly. And we will bolster this argument by just outlining 2 things. These are the 2 positions that are entrenched in on our constitution, that they have to come from the elected person, the Prime Minister and the Minister of Finance, and also in terms of rank in pay.
In terms of the cabinet.
In terms of the cabinet. So Raleigh, that said, you said it would be big late, not little late. Why is it? Why would the minister be late in coming on Tuesday?
Because, I mean, this could happen nowhere else in the world. When you have such a major economic damage in any country, yeah, the minister in charge of finance would have been speaking to the country already and doing everything in order to bolster confidence. When the minister of finance remains silent and you have all kind of people talking, it leads to an erosion of confidence. And that is what is happening. Confidence has been eroding. Yeah, and that is why we see it in the movement of the dollar and the problems that the BOJ is on in order to stabilize the exchange rate, which closed at 161.28 yesterday, sliding for 3 consecutive days because there were no significant intervention in the foreign exchange markets, although it mopped up some 18 billion in liquidity yesterday. So the finance minister should have been moving swiftly in order to restore confidence. The longer she takes to speak, is the more confidence is eroded, and the longer the recovery will take. We have to recover quickly and demonstrate to the international community that we are on top of the job. The finance minister has not been demonstrating that. Simple.
No, as you talk about the BOJ, Governor Biles, we see him on the television and so on, making some statement, and talking about inflation and so on, and what the BOJ will be doing in order to let we have as soft a landing as possible. It's also reported in today's paper, I think it's in the Gleaner, where it said that the BOJ is making $10 billion available by way of assisting.
No, that's the Development Bank of Jamaica is making the $10 billion.
Oh, it's the Development Bank. I'm sorry. Sorry. Yes. So what that means, Raleigh, and how will this $10 billion be distributed, and how will our business people go about accessing this $10 billion, and is it at $10 billion, and how adequate is this?
Well, as David Lowe said, the man who's running the DBJ, it is not adequate, but it's a start. But here's the problem now, and we'll be discussing that with him on Monday. This is not the first time DBJ has been allocating funding for members of the MSME sector, but DBJ normally allocates the funds to what we call approved financial institutions, which are the same commercial banks. And those commercial banks continue with the detective story and frustrate the people. And a lot of time the DBJ money is not used up because the commercial banks are unwilling to lend the people the money because of the conditions that they impose. So the question I'd ask to David now is what is going to be different this time, because this is a different dispensation. So we don't expect the commercial banks to be conducting the same kind of detective story and frustrating the people. So that is one of the devil is in the details. So that is one thing that we want to discuss with him. Yeah.
Good. We saw earlier this week as well, Raleigh, where the president for the Small Business Association, the gentleman's name.
Garnet Reid, who is not a man who is unsympathetic to this administration.
Absolutely.
I spoke with him yesterday, and he said that they are moving too slowly to facilitate the recovery process. He's in New York right now saying he's looking and trying to raise funds for his members because a lot of them were bankrupt before because of COVID-19, were bankrupt before the Melissa catastrophe. So, yeah, they are in dire straits right now, and he's saying that the administration is moving too slowly. And he's saying that a lot of people are upset with him because he spoke about that, but he's really not in a political party at this time. He might deal with Jamaica, which is correct.
Absolutely, because let's remind persons that Garnet Reid ran for the Jamaica Labour Party.
Yeah, man. He also made that clear yesterday. Yeah.
So there are some of us who, irrespective of the political position, your political affiliation, when it comes to the business and professionalism, we go way behind that, Raleigh. No, Raleigh.
Yeah, man. I will dig him up for that. Yeah.
But I must put this to you. A lot of operatives, within the Labour Party and so on, they refer to you and, I'm not going to insert myself, but refer to you as a surrogate, and so on, of the People's National Party when you ask the tough question, that we want answers, and you obviously go by the data and so on. How do you respond to those people?
Well, the first thing I'd say to them is that I am a surrogate of Jamaica. And the second thing I'd say to them, it demonstrates their lack of political and economic experience. And they need to consult Dr. Omar Davies before they say those things. That's all I'd say. Yep.
Raleigh,
it shows that they are just coming on the scene with these things. They don't know what is happening. Yeah. So if they want to know what happened prior to this, call Dr. Omar Davies and ask him. Omar Davies was my finance minister for 14 years. And many of them know who can talk behind him back and talk about FinSac. Me was the only man who could have challenged him at them time. So I remember that. All of them know I'm Monday morning quarterbacking Depa now because he is not minister again. And can cuss him and talk all kind of things. Me was the man who was always a keep him for message them time there. Yeah? Simple. Yep.
So Raleigh.
So you can tell Marlon and all of them they go back and read the history about the Ralston Hyman and Omar Davies. It does show that them inexperienced about Jamaican thing. 37 years me I do this, yeah? Yep. After the 14 years that Omar Davies was finance minister, me was the only man who could have taken him on. Yeah, try to remember that.
And one would remember when the late Mutty Perkins and so on. And a lot of people
who used to call every day? Me.
And also, Raleigh, let's not forget that a man who would never give you an interview on his program now used to call you every day as well. What's his name again?
Yeah, man, who that?
Cliff Hughes.
Okay, yeah, man. Mm-hmm. Yeah, man. Between Mutty and Cliff Hughes, they used to call me every day. Where was Marlon Morgan at that time? Where was Nigel Clark at that time? Where was Andrew Wallace at that time?
So, Raleigh, what really...
Nowhere near public life, yeah.
So what really drives you in doing your job, Raleigh, is the data, truth, and Jamaica.
Jamaica. Yeah? You have not for the political party. Jamaica. Yeah? Try to remember that. Yeah.
Raleigh, you obviously believe that the government has been somewhat tardy, late in coming, and so on. This the Prime Minister talked about shifting gear now and so on. Where should the Prime Minister be focusing on now? And add into that, Raleigh, when we hear persons talk about including the government, talk about the insurance money and money that will be coming in, they give the impression that as it relates to insurance for disaster, that has just started with this whole Nestlé administration. Could you please put that in context for us, sir?
The Prime Minister has been talking about pivoting and shifting gear long before Melissa, and we never saw that pivoting and shifting. What was the pivoting from? Paying down the debt faster than program for and investing more in the country's infrastructure. So if you notice, everybody now, World Bank, Wayne Henry, Richard Byers now talking about infrastructure damage. Why I think they had this significant infrastructure damage? Because the country's infrastructure was weak and creaking because they overpaid the debt and never invested enough in infrastructure. You can't build a sound economy on paper. You have to have sound infrastructure. So now that the hurricane come and devastate infrastructure, all them talk about infrastructure. I've been telling that a long time. Invest more money in the country's infrastructure because infrastructural investment give you the fastest GDP growth and make you more climate resilient. So that is what them have to go back to now. Them not have no choice now. Them have to rehabilitate the country's infrastructure now. There's no choice. Because you can't build an economy without proper infrastructure. So them learn that lesson the hard way and making Jamaican people pay in terms of suffering to learn that lesson.
Good. As I was asked, I also put in there, Raleigh, we hear the talk about insurance and monies that will come in now. Is it a new phenomenon that these things put in place under Andrew Holness government, or is it something that was always there?
All right, so that's why I go back to the history. As a man who was marking Omar Davies at that time, the only media man that could mark him, the only man, because what part of man in the corporate world, they're afraid of Omar Davies because them get FINSA. The Caribbean Catastrophe Risk Insurance Facility was established by Caribbean leaders, and Omar Davies signed on for Jamaica on June 1 of 2007. Them can go back and check it because of the devastation caused by Hurricane Ivan in 2004. So Omar Davies was the man who pioneered the concept of insurance of the fiscal accounts against catastrophe risk. June 2007, June 1. So that concept was first pioneered by Dr. Omar Davies.
Good. All right. Raleigh, as usual, it's a teaching moment.
But one more thing, more teaching moment. I want to tell the Minister of Energy that his behavior is totally unacceptable and extremely repugnant, and he needs to conduct himself better. Because it go back to infrastructure. We have to rehabilitate the country's power infrastructure if the economy ever grow. But in terms of infrastructure, is all or none. Because if you don't have all of the money, you only have to rehabilitate a part of the infrastructure. And if the priority is the economy, it means that you have to rehabilitate the commercial areas. So when the money run out, the same poor people we talk about, and them are end up without light. That's A. B. If you rehabilitate the commercial sector, you don't rehabilitate the household. The economy now gets rehabilitated. Businesses need workers to come and work. You with me? So if them can't function at home, them can't come and work. And if them not work, them not have money to spend. You with me?
Yes.
So you have to make sure you identify the rest of the money so that we can rehabilitate the whole thing. You don't want to start the work and then you have to stop it halfway.
Hence the import of the question that the opposition leader asks.
Precisely.
Good.
It's a common economic question. So when I come when I talk to Diana, I go like him, this up Diana, our colleague. Tell the man so he needs to behave himself.
Yeah, man. Now we're about for Diana. Out of the business that. All right. Respect, Joe. Thanks a lot, Raleigh. All right. So that's Ralston Hyman, the guru of economics analysis right here in the Caribbean. We hail the man bigly. All right. So it's closer play. Thanks to our guests this morning, indeed our callers, our listeners, everybody, and of course Jeffrey Tavares and the Make We Talk YouTube channel. Thanks a lot. On behalf of my producer.
The preceding hour was brought to you.
When the game gets rough and this life just seems so tough, make we talk, my people, make we talk. When this town becomes an ugly place, don't let it erase the smile from your face. Make we talk, people, make we talk. Conversation is the key, a guiding light for you and me. Spark a talk and you will see conflict solver A to Z. World leaders master the art of self-defense just by talk. So people, make we talk. Hey, We're living in a world that on ourselves we must depend. Make we talk